everybody, and welcome back to a new episode where we learn good. We play our game in our own changed setting and universe of Waterdeep, now called Waterdale, with new elements of the Industrial Revolution. Of course, our key feature remains a long-lost treasure. Last episode, the group of characters retrieved Jinx, all the while facing a menacing group of pirates. Edmund will talk with the captain of the ship. Meanwhile, Arthur and Averai visit the opera ball. But without further ado, let's all scoot into the paths of a new adventure. The party has been split up. Edmund and Fletch on Operation Pirate Cooperation, and Averai and Arthur on Operation Royal Opera. The two teams each go their own ways, and so will their stories, at least for now. To serve as a reminder, this was a letter Edmund sent Caspian. And as we follow their story, Caspian actually responded with his own letter back to Edmund. The letter reads as followed. Edmund, how could I forget you and your group? I, too, sent you our apologies. We did not mean to alarm you. Any friend of theirs is mine. This would indeed be a good partnership. Normally, we do not meddle in such formalities. However, I could definitely do a one-on-one meeting, if it is truly just that. I shall trust you to keep your word. How about the Yawning Portal? It's a good place for good conversation. Let us converse around 8 in the evening. I shall lay down my sword and bodyguard to place my trust upon you and come alone. I await our meeting. Caspian Revenaris. These were the letters shared between Edmund and Caspian. This could go swimmingly, or this could go very wrong. There's only one way to find out. Reservations had been made for a table for 2. They are in the more secluded part of the tavern, a little in the back, where you are able to converse calmly without any disturbances. Before meeting Caspian at this location, Edmund made sure to hand Fletch one of his trademark colognes. This would cover Fletch's scent, just to be sure, in case a certain purple devil was lurking. After all, Gemaya finds people by smell and scent, as Edmund discovered at the ball. But now, Edmund is back where his journey began, the Yawning Portal. With his drink of choice in hand, a whiskey, he awaited Caspian. Meanwhile, Fletch is hiding inside, a few tables down, far enough not to be seen. Jinx is with him, outside, keeping an eye on the people coming in and coming out. Caspian is seen walking in and approaching Edmund's table. He is holding a cappuccino, greeting the other man with a kind smile.
So, Edmund, how have you been?
I've been alright. Excuse me for being sick a little bit. I think the stress caught up, seeing old friends. I did not quite expect to see it back there, but I've been alright.
Understandable. I'm glad you've been alright, though. Long time no see, even though we saw each other yesterday. You wanted to talk about a business proposal, basically.
Jumping straight into business, I appreciate it. Yeah, I did. Well, just to tell you the base of the idea I had, I was just thinking we could maybe form an arrangement where I think I can safely assume that you're also searching for a treasure hidden somewhere beneath the city, or somewhere in the city. I think we could be a great asset to you, as you could be to us.
First, I must admit, though, you do live up to the stories that I've heard about you. All good things. Gemaya keeps me updated. But she's correct. You are one handsome lad.
Gemaya keeps him updated.
Okay. Thank you, I think.
Talking more in depth about their formal arrangement, Caspian admitted weekly updates and discussions fit more with the pace at which they gather information. After Edmund brought up monthly updates, Edmund easily agreed.
However, we do kind of collect information rather fast. So I'd say once a week instead of a month. Because we also don't want to overflow with information.
No, that works for us as well. I mean, yeah. That's fine.
And if it so happens, I did want to lay down that you are allowed on boat trips in search for information when we've got leads. So there's certainty. No information is held back on either side.
That's a nice offer.
Yes. But I will say in advance, steal from my ship, hurt my crew, or betray us, and you will walk the plank. All of you will.
Well, I can tell you that is not why I'm here. Don't mean to steal, I have no reason for stealing from any of you guys.
I just like to protect my crew.
I
They're
understand.
like families.
Of course, I would try to hold the rest of my group in tow, but I cannot vouch for each individual person. If anything happens, you're free to do as you please. I mean, it is your ship. If they misbehave,
They will go away with one warning only. If it happens again, they will walk the plank.
I can understand.
Edmund suggested the notion of meeting up with both the entirety of the pirate crew as well as his own group of 4 to build more trust between both parties, as well as laying down more ground rules with everyone present to give their agreement. Talking through the ideal of a partnership, Caspian felt obligatory to apologize personally for the behavior of one specific crew member. Just a more personal and formal apology coming from the captain.
I do apologize about my colleague. Yeah, she's a little mischievous, I'm sorry.
That's a form to call her, I suppose.
Yeah, she's nice. She's a sweetheart, but she's just... She can be very mischievous and curious, as you may have noticed, and... Yeah.
I wouldn't use those exact words, but yeah, I suppose so. I would prefer to distance myself from her, if that's a possibility, given the nature of her history.
Oh! I meant the kobold!
Oh,
I am sorry.
oh, that was all forgiven. I mean, we
Yeah.
walked onto your territory. I don't mind.
But I meant the kobold. I didn't mean Maya, so... She is my bodyguard, she's my business bodyguard, and her information vault. I cannot leave her out of these missions. I can try to, like, hold her back a little bit on the ship.
Like I said, nothing is set in stone tonight. I'll think about that and come back to it later.
Of course. Oh, well, you know where the ship is now, so...
That's very true.
Yeah.
Coming back to the idea of meeting with both groups at the same time to go over the complete cooperation, Caspian once again proposed a dinner at the ship. This time Edmund agreed to the plan, but not without the requests of the ship's ideals and rules to first be sent to his party and vice versa, granting everyone time to prepare for either questions or discussions about the rules. Everyone would have time to think about what they'd request from such an alliance. Caspian did quickly mention he would not sign a contract, considering it is quite against the notion of being a pirate. Having discussed the alliance in detail, the 2 men talked about some final topics before concluding their meeting.
How long have you known Gamaya?
Too long, I would say.
Understandable.
Since childhood.
I was just curious because I hear a lot, not too much, because she does keep things like back still from me. But I do just hear good things, so I was just curious about you.
Alright. That's a surprise you would hear good things, but
That would be a surprise.
it's nothing. It's something personal.
I can see it does make you a bit uncomfortable. So I'm not gonna go into that anymore.
Appreciate it.
But if this was everything and you don't suddenly have anything else that shoots up,
Not quite.
Alright, then for now I will take my leave to go to my crew, discuss everything that's been said here with them.
With that, our meeting with Caspian is concluded. Fletch returns to Edmund, sitting down at his table with a drink.
Hi.
Hi. So it seemed to go well?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I was just kind of trying to stay on friendly terms, so I was kind of holding back a little, but I think it went alright.
What did you discuss?
Nothing is set in stone yet. We go back
Obviously,
home and basically we send our kind of terms and conditions, what we expect from such a partnership and such an arrangement. And they do the same. We send each other the information and then we meet up again, either all of us or a portion, and we discuss further details.
That does sound like quite a plan.
I'm just a little concerned. I trust you, but I do not trust the other two quite as much that they will behave, especially a certain scientist. I'm not sure if he can keep his tongue on a ship.
I was thinking the same. I think I can even trust Arthur with any of this.
No.
A certain tension within the group started brewing. Here, Edmund and Fletch noticed a growing pattern during their recent out-and-abouts. Arthur had quite the feisty tongue on him, especially when dealing with strangers. He had no feeling for tone of voice, nor how rude or uncaring some of his statements came across. This caused a few accidents before, and now with a tight crew such as Caspian's, much like Averai, Arthur finds trouble understanding sarcasm or a joking tone. He speaks in a flat, monotone voice without much variation in pitch or emotion, making it hard for others to discern their feelings. They might not understand why others emphasize certain words or change their tone to convey a message differently. The character, Arthur, often speaks very directly and honestly, which can come across as blunt or tactless. Their own group is not the only place where Edmund and Fletch felt threatened. On Caspian's crew too, they found an enemy. Gamaya. Either way, Edmund fills Fletch in on every bit of information he needs to know, sharing the story in detail. Fletch once more brought his concerns to the table about the other two party members. Gossiper much?
I am kinda scared to sit down with, especially Arthur. I mean, Averai would just go along with everything.
Yeah.
She'd be fine with everything as always. But Arthur is a different story.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Kamaya will somehow influence our group and turn the others against me.
From what you've told me, I wouldn't be surprised.
No. But I trust you. But the other
Thank you.
two... But the other two, Gamaya already seemed... Averai already seemed very much on Gamaya's hand.
She's very easily
Yeah.
influenced. I didn't understand why Arthur is going along with it either.
No, well, I don't quite understand Arthur at all to begin with, but yeah.
It's very fair. I didn't understand the lad. He keeps coming up to me, but it's like looking down at me. I didn't like him.
The cutting off one's leg is just a little...
Oh, it's like he cut off his leg, but I didn't want to know what he did with his eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He never talked about it. We don't know what happened to his eye.
No,
Like, did he?
we don't.
Did he? I hope he didn't do that himself.
Yeah, and he was so careless about cutting off his leg. I mean,
Like it was just a Monday morning thing.
cutting butter.
Hey. Like it was just an everyday thing to, you know, just kind of like do. Oh, he's so weird. No, I do not trust him.
No. And Avrai's gonna get us in trouble.
She is.
She is too sweet.
He believes everything
Yeah.
that's been said.
I wonder what's even happening at the opera, because it sounds shady. And you don't know what kind of person this stalker is.
Is there even a stalker?
And even now, when we're trying to lay low, we should not attract that kind of attention to ourselves and just help every person that calls for help. That's stupid.
And especially just the fact that she might have some information, but the information we're getting now is certain, and they claim to have more information than anyone else.
Well, it's not a claim. We know they have more. You don't end up in a scandal sheet with just a claim of words that you might have information. I mean, that's also kind of why I suggested them going to the opera. I did not want to be caught in the crossfire of them. And if something happens, I'm not seen there.
Moving forward to another topic of conversation, different from slander, Edmund told Fletch the truth about Gamaya. She is, in fact, not a tiefling. She is a full-blooded devil, a fiend, a pit fiend to be exact. The information leaves Fletch horrified, all the while Edmund casually continues to list her abilities and powers, used to them by now.
That is definitely something to watch out for.
She can teleport. That's something else.
You didn't mention that before. Does she need to see where she's going, or
she can just know the place, see it,
so she
memorize it.
She could just like.
Yeah, and also show up in the middle of our house.
Okay, so we didn't let her see the house ever. But
she can fly. She also has wings. She can teleport. She can grow. She can.
Could she actually teleport into the house? Or does she need to see the place first? No.
She has seen the place before. She stalked me the first night after the Billboard Ball, which I kind of hid from you guys because sensitive topic. So
so she can just get into the house whenever. She can just follow us.
She can be anywhere.
That is great. You're not gonna stay at taverns during the night again, are you? Because they didn't think that be safe. Know that she knows where you are.
No, I'm gonna use the room, but the house. So I'm not staying in taverns. I'm not sure if staying at the house is smarter, because she just knows where I am.
Fair.
Conversations continue to flow, and to build trust, Edmund and Fletch decide to tell one another a bit more about their lives, and most of all, the real reason for joining the quest. Edmund began his story first, to give Fletch the courage he needed to tell his part after him. Edmund first spoke about Gamaya being a big reason for his partaking in the quest, but later revealed another reason besides her.
And the money. The money I have right now is not quite my own. It is my own, but I get it from someone.
Can I ask who?
My father.
That
And
makes
I want
sense.
to stand on my own, so that's why I want the money from the quest.
That's very understandable. What exactly is going on with your family? If you do make me asking, of course.
What exactly are you asking?
It's just, we only know that you're adopted, and you're on your own now. You want to be independent. There's more to the story, I feel like, but I understand if you didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I don't just quite like my family. It's really, I just want to be on my own. And not continue the household and the whole name of my family.
So just cutting off the line there
Yeah,
makes sense.
and I want the line to die with me. That's what I want. So leaving that place, not siring an heir, not forming an arranged marriage with Kamaya.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just that most of the money that I earn with my job and also with this entire treasure, I didn't keep it myself. I actually sent most of it home, and I just keep doing it, even though I didn't have to. But I feel like if I get a treasure, I can kind of stop doing that, because then my home is just set for life.
Kind of paid off a debt that you decided on for yourself?
Sort of. Like it's not actually a debt.
Yeah, but it's a personal debt.
It
Or
kinda. Yeah.
Hmm.
I know they need the money, so I just give it to them and anonymous donations. Without the money, we're not very much.
Mhm.
So among the clan, we didn't really need it because we don't really pay for things. We're kind of like a community. We provide and, you know, so we ourselves didn't need the money, but we need it for, you know, just to keep ground in the city that we live in.
Also about my father sending money. I don't want the group to know about that just yet. I don't know why.
That is coming from your father, I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why yet, but I do not want them to know yet.
No, I mean, I get it. Like,
It's
just
kind
knowing that it is not entirely your own.
Yeah, and it's against this whole idea that I'm trying to live after.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's totally fine.
As the last conversation is taking place, there is but a small shift in Waterdale's streets. I would like to shed light on this occurrence, because as the lone pirate walks towards his home, each step bringing him closer to the misty harbor, he exhales. With his first steps on the docks, he takes off his hat, and she lets out a sigh. Features change, and hidden features seem to reappear. Gamaya runs a hand through her messy hair to fix it as she walks. Once she arrives back on the ship, she hands the Head of Disguise back to Caspian.
Hidden features. Hold on. How'd it go? It went splendid. He ate right out of my hand. I told him what you wanted me to, and no contracts were signed, as pirates don't. However, they do want to make arrangements with us, so we have to write down what we expect of their group and what they expect of our group. Sounds great. Thank you for going my place. Caspian did in fact not bring Gamaya. He sent her instead. For if things had gone wrong, Gamaya can die, unless on Hell's grounds. Or for if he would be taken hostage, Gamaya can teleport. It was a case of precaution. Didn't you two do the same?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I was hoping for that reaction. Yay!
What kind of shit did we discuss?
With Fletch and Edmund's story all summed up, we switch to Averai and Arthur, who just now were led inside by an enthusiastic Clarice. She is cheerful and confident, a bubble image as she skips across the halls of the opera. After all, her endeavor with the mysterious stalker might finally end. The Grand Theatre is a place of performance and mystery, its deep red and gold accents creating an atmosphere of timeless elegance. Covering the walls are golden accents and carved symbols, accompanied by rich crimson velvet enveloping the room in a warm, luxurious glow. At the heart of the theater lies the stage, crowned by a towering-like sculpt that lurks over the curtains of the stage. This artwork depicts a two-faced dragon. One face wears a wide, almost sinister grin, its eyes gleaming with mischief, while the other face is twisted in sorrow, tears glistening on its golden scales. The dragon's serpentine body stretches out over the entirety of the stage, its golden form shimmering in the soft light of the chandeliers. It coils and twists upwards, making its way through the upper balconies, almost as if it's watching over every seat in the house. The theater can seat hundreds, with rows of plush red velvet chairs arranged in a grand semicircle around the stage, each offering a perfect view. The upper balconies provide a more secluded viewing point, with the dragon's body curling protectively around these exclusive seats. Right now, the stage is alive with activity as performers and stagehands make final adjustments. The heavy red curtains are drawn open, revealing a stage that is soon to be transformed into a world of wonder. As the characters are led through the grand stage, Clarice, her eyes sparkle with a mischievous glint as she enthusiastically describes the theater's history. Her voice is lively, almost musical as she gestures wildly, pointing out every detail with a contagious energy that fills the room. Clarice seems genuinely thrilled to have guests, her laughter ringing out like a bell as she makes light-hearted jokes and animatedly chatters on about the upcoming performance. Her joy is infectious, and for a moment, it's easy to believe she's simply an overly enthusiastic guide. But then, as the group moves across the stage, Averai's foot lands on one of the floorboards with a heavy creak. The sound is almost too loud in the hushed atmosphere of the theater, and suddenly, a mechanical clanking echoes through the room. The floorboard sinks slightly, and the stage beneath them shifts, revealing a hidden room behind some of the stage decorations. The two characters, Averai and Arthur, are suddenly face to face with two men who stand at the ready, their faces grim and their weapons drawn. Besides them, a majestic but aggressive hippogriff puffs a breath of frustration, its wings twitching as if sensing the tension in the air. As this hidden room is revealed, Clarice, her expression changes in an instant. The cheerful, bubbly demeanor melts away, replaced by a sinister, almost predatory grin. Her eyes darken, taking on a dangerous stare. And as her voice loses all its warmth, she's no longer the charming guide. Her face contorts with a manic intensity, and her voice rises into a frantic shout. The once harmless-seeming woman now lunges forward with deadly intent, her hand reaching for a concealed rapier. In that moment, it becomes clear that this entire encounter has been a trap. Clarice's cheerful facade was nothing more than a ruse to lure the two into a false sense of security. She's been killing every group that's come through these doors, eliminating any who claim to work under Volo's name, and Arthur and Averai are her next targets. Her movements are wild, unpredictable, and fueled by a desperate rage as she strikes, intent on assassinating them before they can expose her dark secrets. In defense, Averai starts chanting, reaching into every crevice of her mind to find the numerous spells taught to her. An orange-red light starts to crack and flicker around her palm, traveling even to the tips of her fingers. It's burning hot, smoldering. She raises her hand to... wait. This isn't right, is it? No, wait, I'm sorry. This isn't how it went? I remember it differently. Let's try that again. Clarice was on the rise of what should have been the most triumphant night of her career. The Grand Opera House was abuzz with anticipation, the air thick with the excitement of an audience eager to witness her talent. She had spent weeks preparing for this moment, her voice honed to perfection, every note and every gesture planned with great care. As an opera singer, this performance was meant to be her masterpiece, her breakthrough. The stage was almost ready, and Clarice herself was running about, overseeing the final touches. Her heart was racing, not from nerves, but from the sheer exhilaration of what was to come. She adjusted the costumes, ensured the props were in place, and directed the stagehands with a determined smile. The massive, heavy red curtains hung open, ready to be drawn as soon as the audience settled in. But in her haste, her foot caught on a loose piece of rope and she tripped, stumbling into the very curtains that were to frame her moment of glory. The impact was enough to knock over a row of candles that lined the edge of the stage. Their flickering flames part of the theater's traditional old Victorian charm. As the candles tumbled, one of them caught the edge of the rich velvet curtains, igniting them in an instant. The fabric was highly flammable, and the fire spread with terrifying speed. In seconds, what began as a small flame grew into a roaring blaze, the heat and smoke filling the opera house. Clarice struggled to disentangle herself from the burning curtains, but the flames were relentless, licking at her skin and scorching her once beautiful face. The pain was too much to bear, and she screamed, not just in agony, but in disbelief. This was supposed to be her moment, her night of triumph, but instead she was trapped in a nightmare. By the time she was pulled from the fire, half her face was horrifically burned, the once flawless skin now a contorted, scarred mask of pain. The other half of her face, untouched by the flames, remained a haunting reminder of the beauty she had lost. The opera house was in chaos, the fire quickly spreading as people scrambled to escape. Clarice's life would never be the same again.
What the fuck? The fuck am I? What are you guys doing here? We're in a battle! Well, thank you for sparing me, I suppose. No, I won't. What the fuck did you just do? Alright, try me. I don't want to tell you. That's the truth, right? Yes. Why me? You're so naive. That's what. Been watching. Don't remember the days, I'd say a while. That's classified.
Who were they? And Clarice is taken to prison? She was dragged away, given over to the authorities. As the session comes to a close, the events surrounding Clarice remain shrouded in uncertainty. The two characters watched as she was taken away by the guards, her fate seemingly sealed as they led her towards containment. The truth is blurred, lost in the chaos of the night. What is clear, however, is that Clarice's story has reached a dark turning point. Edmund, at home, is greeted by two familiar faces coming through the front doors. They are covered in charcoal and wounds?
I would like an explanation first thing. So it was a trap. You what? This is a lot to take in.
This wraps up the day. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you for listening to our episode of Ludenskud, with many more to follow. Next episode, the characters will be met with a surprise appearance during their shopping spree, as well as dealing with some shady business. But for now, we've bothered you enough.
Bye bye.
Laters.
Adios.